Hello everyone, William here. I just had another great conversation with another guest. Would you like to come in and listen in on the conversation we had? By the way, feel free to share it with anyone you feel may find it of interest. Come on, let's go listen in now.
Geraldine McMullen, welcome to my studio.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for reaching out and wanting to come in and have a chat with me about your candidacy. I understand you're running for councillor for Ward 9.
Yes, I am. I'm very excited about it, actually.
What prompted you to run?
Well, I did run in 2010. I have to say, for me, I'm extremely passionate about people. I love helping others. I'm a strong advocate, so putting the two together, I think that public service is important. I do have some good skill sets when it comes to advocating for others, so that's really what prompted me. You know, living in Ward 9 for 14 years, I've seen the transition. I've lived in Hamilton all my life. I think it's an extremely exciting time to be a part of council and moving us into the next stages of our city.
What kind of things are your the people in your ward telling you that they'd like to see change in the area?
Specifically right now, especially since amalgamation, the old Stony Creek is really trying to revitalize, and I think there needs to be some more resources put into that. You know, holding on to the quaintness of all the outerlying communities. You know, they talk about the greater Hamilton area, and it really is the greater Hamilton area because Hamilton really is great. Especially we have Dundas, we have Ancaster, we have Flamborough, we have Binbrook, you know, and each area in and of themselves have their own identity, so that's sort of key right now.
Yeah, good. What's the number one priority that you would like to see? What number one change would you like to see if you become the successful candidate?
Well, for me, and it's one of the things that I'm pledging, is to have more citizen engagement. It's important to really know what the key issues are and the important issue are for, and the priorities are for each resident. And you have to have a broader understanding about what's going on in not just Ward 9 and Upper and Lower Stony Creek, because they themselves are very different. There's urban and rural, and issues are different. So you have to have a broader understanding of what the community needs are. And I think I do. Yeah,
what kind of things would enable you to understand what those things are? Like a survey, open door policy, being accessible by phone. How would you gain that information from the community?
Well, I haven't worked out all of the semantics yet, but of course, town hall meetings, but more specifically, I'm hoping to be available anytime a resident needs me. It doesn't mean that I'm going to answer my phone at every waking moment, but to be available and accessible. I'm a very open person myself, so definitely an open door policy, but I think that the responsibility lies on me to organize the community together. So if it means having meetings in the upper part of Stony Creek and the lower part of Stony Creek, and then bringing them both together, that's one of my commitments.
So town halls afford people an opportunity to come out and be vocal about the things that, the changes that they'd like to see, in even a community setting by having some dialogue with each other, which tend to be fruitful on a lot of levels.
But me coming to them as well. Mm-hmm. If there's an issue, I shouldn't be shy and not be able to come to your door and sit down with you at your table and have a coffee with you and have a conversation about what's going on.
Sure.
That's what I love to do, is connecting with the citizens in Ward 9.
Personal touch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the one-on-ones, building the relationships.
Yes.
Relationships are always key. I've asked several people who have been in my studio how they feel about relationships and what. I mean, today with social media, with there's so many opportunities to connect, and you and I had a discussion pre-interview about being able to connect this way on the two-dimensional level, and actually being able to be together and be able to read the signs that, you know, the body language, the eyes, and being able to communicate on every level that's within our capability.
I think you can lose the importance of what's actually going on. To an elected official, oh, the sidewalk that's outside of my house needs repairing. it may not feel that important, but to the person who lives right in front of that area, where they're concerned about safety or someone tripping on it, or it really doesn't look that good because it's reducing their property value. People are emotionally connected to where they live. People are emotionally connected to their communities, so you can't lose that. And I've often said to my friends and colleagues and people that are assisting me throughout the campaign, don't let me lose that connectivity with people, because once that breaks down, then there is no communication, there is no conversation.
So, and that the whole mechanism, the whole political mechanism, can be consuming and can consume you. And having people in your organization that will bring you back to, we'll call it reality, because everybody understands that terminology, but brings you back to it and says, hey, we're missing out on the big elements. I know a lot of businesses start out and they become very successful, and then things change. And oftentimes I've observed that the reason things have changed and aren't going so well is because they stopped doing the very things that made them successful in the beginning, because now they start to cut corners. Things are not as good. The pop gets smaller if you're a restaurant, or the portions get smaller, or the service is less and less. Just slowly you get acclimated to getting used to the fact that the service is just like everybody else's, so you no longer stand out. So those kind of things are important to maintain. And if you have the right people around you, which you sound like you do, they'll keep you in that space.
I'm very lucky. I have a lot of support. My family, my friends, my partner, my children. But what's more important is we also have to remember that these are the people that elect us to do the job for them. We're there for public service. We're not there it's not just a job. It shouldn't just be a job, and it shouldn't just be a paycheck. People talk about, how much a councillor makes, et cetera, et cetera. Well, they need to earn their keep too, and while I'm there holding others to account, I expect others to hold me accountable as well.
Yeah, that creates balance, right?
I think so.
Yeah, very good. So, what one thing would you like people to know about you?
Well, I don't talk about this a lot, but I do sing, and I thoroughly enjoy that. It's something that it brings me a lot of joy and allows me to bring joy to other people. We go around into the community and sing at different events, especially around Christmas and also during Remembrance, because we do memorial services as well. I
understand you use your voice for fundraising as well, not just your speaking voice, but your singing voice as well.
Well, we were very lucky and fortunate to actually go into a recording studio, and we had 2 Christmas CDs that we raised over $25,000. That all of it was given back to the community.
Wow. Very good. Are they still available?
They are, actually.
Are they? Oh, well, good. Well, you'll have to put those on your website or something.
Oh, they were on my Facebook for some time. We do always have them around, and of course, as the season for Christmas, and I don't want to be talking about that too soon.
No, it'll come soon.
I'm sure the stores are already heading into Halloween, and you see all the stuff out there. But it's a fantastic thing to be able to do that for people. So. The singing counselor, I guess I could become.
So, before you went into community service, or before you're attempting to go into community service on a political level, you've already been involved in it. So, that kind of is a great foundation for you to stand on as well.
Yes.
Yeah, very good, very good. So, anyone who wanted to contact you, what would be the way that they would contact you? Do you have a Facebook? Do you have a website, a phone? I will put it up definitely at the back, so at the end, so it's up there for you.
You can reach through votemcmullen.ca, and it's VOTEMCMULLEN.ca. You can also email me at the same, votemcmullen@gmail.com. And I do have a Facebook page. Feel free to also friend request me on my personal Facebook page. That's part of the accessibility. Once the election is over, I do shut down the actual page that's for the election, but it doesn't mean that I don't want to continue to be connected afterwards. I do also have a Twitter, and my website will be launched. My campaign launches officially on the 18th up at Kelsey's in Stony Creek, and
very good.
We'll be launching the website just about the same time. There was just a couple little tweaking things that we had to do.
Sure.
So
Brilliant. Well, I wish you the best, and I do appreciate you coming in, and I hope maybe just prior to the date for voting that you come in and see me again, and maybe we can just touch base and see how things are progressing for you.
that would be my pleasure.
Thanks very much, Geraldine.
It was
I
a
really
pleasure
appreciate
meeting you.
You as well.
Thank you.
Join us. Catch the bug.